ready for a new and exciting topic? The Real Estate and Mortgage Show is back with your host, Walter Montero. He's a real estate and mortgage agent in Ontario, implements internet marketing strategies, and offers an online course to invest in private mortgages. Let's listen to this fascinating episode. You will surely learn much from this talk.
Hey everybody, it's Walter Montero with the Real Estate and Mortgage Show. What I wanted to do was talk a little bit personally about why I think real estate is still such a great investment. Okay, so I've got 7 reasons why real estate is still a great investment. So let's start off right from the top. Reason number 1 that I think real estate is a great investment is, number 1, you have to live somewhere. Okay, and so why not invest in where you're going to live? And primarily that would be, of course, your house. So, you can't live in a mutual fund. You can't live in a stock. You certainly can't live in, those types of investments, but you can live in your house. So if you talk to anybody, anybody that's, 50 or older, if you ask any of them what the best investment they ever made in their life, almost synonymously, they will tell you that real estate was the best investment they made in their life. So the great thing about investing in real estate is you can live in your investment. So you can enjoy it as well as have your money well invested. Okay. The reason number 2 that I think real estate is a great investment is it will eventually be paid for. Okay. So that's a great thing. You'll eventually have a commodity that's all completely paid for by way of your mortgage. And you'll eventually, provided that you're prudent about it, you will eventually have no more mortgage and you will have an asset that you can live in that is, obviously a valuable asset. So I think that is another great reason to invest in real estate. Reason number 3 is that it continues to go up in value. Now, folks, I know that some of you will argue that point, and I've certainly seen real estate fall in value in my 28 years in the business, but it doesn't consistently fall. In fact, when it falls for a very short time, and then it continues to go back up. Okay, will that continue in the future? I have to think it will. Okay, because there are some great things happening in our country, great things happening in our area. There are major infrastructure investments going on from our governments. There are a constant influx of people wanting to live in our great country, primarily in our area as well. We're simply an hour outside of Toronto. So I think that the possibility of real estate continuing to go up is certainly very, very strong. Is there a chance that it could roll back? Because we have had a pretty aggressive market, especially in the last 6 to 8 months. There is always that possibility. But, I don't have a crystal ball and I certainly couldn't tell you that. But what I can tell you is this, is that people are still very bullish on real estate. And even though many experts have been calling for the demise of the market, it has not happened. So it's very interesting. A few years ago, I had a client that decided to listen to some of these so-called experts, and they decided to cash out of the market, I think about 3 years ago now, and they went into the rental market. My wife and I were driving by their old house the other day, and we mentioned their name, and I got to think the value they sold their house for and the value of what it's at now, they probably quite easily left $100,000 on the table. So it's too bad that they did take that foolish advice, but they did, and it is what it is. So in terms of it going up, I think real estate will probably continue to go up in the long term. Okay. Reason number 4 that I think real estate is such a great investment is you can leverage it to buy more real estate. Okay, or anything else you want for that matter. So what I mean by that is as your equity grows in your property and you build up sort of a bank account, so to speak, you can refinance that property to buy more real estate, investment property. That's, great. Like, why wouldn't you invest in more property? So you can invest in more property. You can invest in mortgages, which we've spoken about before. And, you can always invest in something else. I would not recommend that you refinance property for the purpose of buying toys or boats or cars. I think that's a foolish thing to do. But I think in terms of using it for reinvestment, I think that's an excellent idea. Reason number 5 that I think real estate is still a great investment is that the government helps you pay for it, okay? And the way they help you pay for it is, first of all, they allow you to write off the interest on the money that you borrow to buy more. Okay, not on your principal residence, but on your rental properties, okay, or on your investment properties. They allow you to depreciate it a certain value every year, so that helps you from a tax perspective. And they also allow you to write off all the expenses that it costs to run the real estate. And that could include real estate commissions, not real estate commissions on your principal residence. I just want you to understand that. But any rental or investment property that you sell, you can write it off. All right. So the government helps you pay for it. That is a great reason to invest in real estate. Reason number 6 that I think real estate is still a great investment is that it is a sought after commodity. So, the thing is, you can invest in businesses or restaurants or, whatever you want. But, there's always going to be that element of, are people going to buy when I'm selling? And the one thing that you can be sure of is that if you invest in real estate, people are going to want to rent it because everybody needs a roof over their head. So it is definitely a sought after commodity. And not to mention, when you sell it, it is marketable and liquidable. Is it as marketable and liquidable as a stock? Well, in some cases it can be, but it is a liquidable investment. So you can turn it into cash, and you can do that relatively quickly. And reason number 7 that I think that real estate is a great investment is I think that it's a safe investment. And the reason that I think it's safe is, first of all, I take a look around at who invests in it. And there's nothing sexy about real estate, but it is a solid commodity that people seek to own or use. And the other thing is, and this is probably the icing on the cake, is that one thing that if you look at in terms of where banks invest their money, they invest it back in real estate. They do that by way of mortgages. You go into a bank and ask for an unsecured loan, you may or may not like the answer you get. But when you can back up your collateral with a piece of real estate, the bank is all over it. And that, to me, speaks volumes in terms of how safe and solid a real estate investment is. So those are my 7 reasons that I still think real estate is a great investment. I hope you enjoyed that. This is a wrap for the show. I want to thank everybody that has listened to the show so far.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Real Estate and Mortgage Show. Connect with us at therealestateandmortgageshow.com. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter to get instant access to our new updates. See you at the next episode.